Gina Rodriguez, just stop saying any words. Fam, I ain't got the patience or the interest to do a proper read on this. We're just browsing, as my merch shirt, which just came in, would indicate. On top of that, my slumlord sent over builders to apparently demolish the upstairs walkway. You probably hear that banging right now. Not ideal conditions for filming. Ray Ray is terrified. She will not leave my side. She has to have like skin to skin contact right now because the banging is scaring her so much. So if you see things moving around, it's the dog. Noise aside, we are going to press on because I have thoughts on this individual. If I'm honest, my first thought whenever I hear Gina Rodriguez's name, my first thought is, who? Then my second thought is, oh, her. In case you didn't know, this woman is an actress. I'm using that term charitably. Admittedly, I have not watched much from her body of work, but I did see her in Annihilation, and she was easily the worst part of that film. I digress. Setting her lack of acting ability aside, this woman has a history of saying things and doing things that strongly indicate that she neither respects nor values Black people, and she certainly doesn't respect or value Black women. I will link an article from Vox below that chronicles her history of this behavior because, again, can't be bothered just browsing. Anyway, a couple days ago, Rodriguez thought it would be prudent of her to post a video of herself singing along to the Fugees' Killing Me Softly. Specifically, she thought it prudent to post herself singing along at a part in the song where Lauryn Hill says the N-word. Yes, Rodriguez posted herself on the internet saying, "Give me heebie-jeebies." The actual line is, "Frontin' give me heebie-jeebies." Even worse than that, she wasn't even on beat. Of all the lines in the song to post, too, after she's already been accused of being anti-Black many times.
Give me heebie-jeebies.
Give me heebie-jeebies.
I reiterate, this woman chose to post this on her social media. And the look on her face in the video after she says it, just as smug and gleeful as can be. Never mind that it's surprisingly easy to sing along with a song or parts of a song that have the N-word, and this will work with any songs that you already have at home. Turns out it's entirely possible to sing along with those songs without saying the N-word yourself. As a matter of fact, I saw in my girl Estela Estremera's video, which I will link below, in Estela's video, she included a clip from Jackie Aina showing that Jackie actually did a whole ass in-depth tutorial demonstrating that you can actually sing along and just not say it. Wouldn't you know, it's actually pretty easy to just not say the N-word. We have the technology. I think even a troll like Ms. Rodriguez could do it, and yet, here we are. Now look it. She knew she had no business saying the N-word. This is not something that she learned only after posting that video and receiving this backlash. Here's what's actually happening. Come here, here's the real tea. She didn't give a f***. She didn't care. She didn't give a f***. And similarly, I won't be able to summon even one single f*** to give about whatever the hell her next project is. I'm good. I'm chilling. As I said, Gina Rodriguez has been accused of being anti-Black. Having looked at all of her behaviors over the past several years, I don't know if it necessarily warrants that label necessarily, because a lot of this crap just screams narcissism and self-absorption more than it screams anti-Blackness to me. On the other hand, we know that people can participate in racism and bigotry through silence and passivity. So even if she's convinced herself that she isn't anti-Black, her repeated dismissals of the issues facing Black people, always to recenter conversations on herself and her interests and her feelings, ultimately have a deleterious effect on us, on Black people, and our ability to progress as a people. She only seems to care about herself, her voice, her representation, her interests. But you don't have to respect Black people to want to take from Black people and to take from our culture. To quote Paul Mooney, and this is especially fitting today, everybody want to be a but don't nobody want to be a. Like so many, Rodriguez wants the cachet of Black girl cool. The swag of Fugees era Lauryn Hill in particular is not of this earth, and this is not up for debate. And Rodriguez erroneously thought that she looked cool in that clip singing along with Miss Lauryn Hill. I got news for you, Rodriguez. You could never. Comparing Lauryn Hill to Gina Rodriguez is like comparing apples and oranges. Actually, that, because at least those are both fruit. It's like comparing apples and tires. But looking cool, as she perceived it, was more important to her than being disrespectful to black people. So she didn't care. And no, invoking her dark-skinned dad again is not going to get her out of this pickle, because no one was falling for that shit last time. It is not far-fetched or even new information that racism and colorism are massive issues within the Latin community. Ask any Afro-Latinx person and you will learn just how pervasive anti-blackness and colorism is within that community. Gina Rodriguez is just another case study of this issue, and this is just another instance of her showing her ass. While I still don't know if I would necessarily brand her as anti-black full stop, but racism and bigotry and colorism all exist on spectrums, and her behaviors certainly show that she has more than zero anti-black sentiment, and it is based on these repeated snafus that leads me to believe that she has little to no respect for black people. I mean, I don't care. I'm not outraged. She's just a dipshit for posting that video in the first place, but at this point, I don't think anyone is surprised. Dipshittery is consistent behavior for her. And if, like her, you're equal parts arrogant and ignorant, you should probably just have your social media taken away entirely. As far as her apologies go, one was worse than the next.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to reach out and apologize. I am sorry. I am sorry if I offended anyone by singing along to the Fugees, to a song I love, that I grew up on. I love Lauryn Hill, and I really am sorry if I offended you.
I'm sorry if you were offended by me singing along to a song that I love. What kind of subliminal, glib, blame-shifting bullshit? Then came the Notes app learning and growing template apology. Gina Rodriguez, go away. Her career will suffer no consequences behind this. If being a shitty actress wasn't enough to thwart her career, why would this? This whole thing, she was just flaunting her arrogance and her privilege. I mean, the fact that she was sitting there getting her makeup done in the offending clip. Have I mentioned go away? You don't care enough about or respect black people enough not to say one word. Not only that, you want us to know that you don't care by putting yourself on camera saying it. And let's be real, I assume a whole lot of non-black people are saying the N-word all the time when black people are not around. When you're in your car singing along to Cardi B, who also has no business saying the N-word, or when I'm trying to merge and you don't want to let me in. I am under no delusion that y'all are never, ever, ever saying the N-word when you're in a private, safe space, right, Kathleen Lights? So really, we're just asking for the courtesy of not saying it in front of or to us. At least pretend you never say it. We're just asking you to pretend, which really isn't asking much. But no, some of y'all are so arrogant, Gina Rodriguez, that you can't even do that. Some of y'all want to act oppressed simply because we're asking you not to use a racial slur that is arguably the most inflammatory and hurtful word in the entire English language. A word that was reclaimed because of the unspeakable violence, cruelty, and dehumanization that it connotes. Somehow we're at a point where people sincerely believe that that's unfair, that they're somehow oppressed because they don't get to say it. Can you say cognitive dissonance? This is so tired. I know a lot of people out there are pissed, they're really mad at her. I don't get mad over irrelevant people and their fuckery. After all, there is no way that these dipshits keep putting themselves on camera saying the N-word as if they don't know better. Y'all are boring. Go away. Of course, the moment I'm ready to wrap this up, the builders have gone quiet. I think they're taking a lunch break. My life. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this irrelevant actress and her being an idiot. Thank you for hanging out with me for another unplanned tea talk with some unsolicited opinions. Before we get out of here, Ray Ray wants to leave you with a gentle reminder. She says never trust anyone with a Morphe code. Bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that now.